it didn't happen for someone. Like I said before, when we're going through the process, I think I had to come to the realization that if it doesn't happen for me, how can we still have great lives? So I think that people who don't have it, you just have to figure out how can you give God the glory and still be great, because there's got to be some message there, and He's never let you down, never let me down. So figuring out what that message is and where He wants to guide you and lead you, and it's hold on to your faith. Learn how to be a great listener. Sometimes my wife wanted to talk about the IVF process or how she felt, and I'm getting out the pen and pad trying to put a plan together. And sometimes she's like, it's not what I want. I want you to just listen. I don't need any advice. I don't need any conversations or feedback because, as men, we tend to be fixers. We tend to be one who I'm going to figure this out and put it together. Sometimes my wife just wanted to get things out of her system and just move on. So I have to learn how to be a great listener. And that's helping me out also in my marriage now. Just
I think we could all grow in that. Yeah. Yeah.
advice is not always needed.
Yeah, that's good.
Advice is not always needed. So that's one big thing that I would give men, like just figure out. And what I would do with my wife back then, even now, when she would talk to me, I'd ask her, hey, this a conversation that you want advice, or you want me to listen? And once she told me how she felt, then I would go from there and act accordingly, depending on the conversation. So being a great listener is the main thing.
But what's the difference when somebody's like running away from their problem, and like kind of being passive and burying it, and versus like finding an outlet to kind of just like go be yourself? What do you think the difference is?
Like anything else, you're just this guy that it's building up, building up, building up, building up. It's not going anywhere if you don't address it. It's just going to build up in the closet. It's building in the closet. Eventually, that closet is going to get full. It's going to burst wide open, and you don't know where you're going to be or how you're going to feel when it bursts wide open. So that's one thing my wife and I talked about was, we have to release ourselves from certain things because if it builds up, builds up, builds up, builds up, who knows how that's going to look once it blows and explodes. And we say all the time, like, if that happens, who will take care of the kid? Because we've exploded. So it's a matter of figuring out how to seep it out eventually, because eventually it's going to come out. But I think the best bet is let it come out on your terms. You bring it out. Don't wait till it builds up and it blows, explodes, and you have no control on how it's going to be after that. Once that thing explodes out because you held it in, you have no control on how it's going to react. You can yell, scream, whatever, whoever. But my advice would be to let it out on your terms so it can get out.
Did you notice anything different, like this connection with you and your wife, or you and yourself, or you and God? Like, is there, because it's like, this is real now, right? Like this thing we've been working towards, like this is real, and you'd been waiting a long time. And so did you notice any shifts in any of those key relationships?
Oh yes, because prior to the marriage, it was just my wife and I. We just hang out, whatever. But then we threw this great entity in the middle of it, and it's like it wasn't chaos to where it was like panic. It was chaos. Like, okay, all right, because like Mike Tyson had the great saying. He says, "Everyone has a plan to get punched in the face." So you put these plans together on how it's going to be once you get home, and you get home, it's like, oh my goodness, this is not nothing I planned. Like he is crying every single night. I mean, he's up all the time. So it was like trying to get your mind wrapped around, like, okay, I'm not getting any sleep. You think, okay, we'll sleep. We'll put in the bed at this time. No, there's no sleep at all involved here. So it's trying to operate on a space of no sleep, but being grateful at the same time. And that's kind of how I was because of the process. Like I am tired as heck, but I'm glad I'm tired because what we took to get here, it is okay. So I think that I don't know if it's an IVF parent or anyone in general who has struggles with having kids. Those moments are tough, but you appreciate them because it was a struggle to get there. So anything that I, for a moment, thought was tough, it basically came with a smile. Like I'm glad I got this tough to experience, so I'm okay with it.